I say it's just a sign of the times. Leave it to an illegal to do a job an American doesn't want to do anymore.
Kind of interesting news over the weekend, as one of the most popular games of the year has been the Spider-Man 2 game. There was it sold bukus and bukus. It was one of the fastest selling Sony games ever. And moving forward, the writers of Spider-Man 2, who some may say were, there was the in-house writing team. Then they obviously outsourced some of it to our friends over at Sweet Baby Inc. They were they did consultation on it, but they have confirmed that moving forward they'll be focusing not on Peter Parker but on Miles Morales, as he is the main Spider-Man in the Insomniac universe of Spider-Men. So let's start here, Razor. Are you in the camp that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, or that Miles Morales is Spider-Man, or that they're both, or that Miles Morales is Miles Morales?
I say it's just a sign of the times. Leave it to an illegal to do a job an American doesn't want to do anymore. I'm not too over the moon about Spider-Man 2. I've seen it played, and it's shorter than a list of Movie Bob's favorite exercises. So I don't really see what the value is. People buying it, I don't get it. Plus, the first one, I reviewed it. I predicted exactly what the second game was going to be about. I was completely right, by the way. Like, I predicted lock, stock, and barrel, beat for beat, what the plot was going to be in a throwaway comment in a review from whatever it was 3 years ago, whenever I made that video. I didn't get... The first one was okay, but it was like the okayest. It's open world because it's 2020 and it's the law, whenever that came out. Was it 2019, 2020? I can't remember.
Does anybody remember? Yeah, I think it was 2019.
Something like that. Yeah, anyway, it's open world because it's the law. It's got collectibles because it's the law. It's got the side quest because it's the law. It's third person because it's the law. It's a sandbox. It's a sandbox rather because it's the law. It just seemed to check every single box that all these modern games do. That's kind of my biggest gripe about it. It was like, after it was over, it was like eating cotton candy. It tastes delicious when you're eating it. Then at the end, you just realize, oh, wow, that was absolutely nothing. I just ate air for 25 minutes. Like, that's what Spider-Man was like. And Spider-Man 2 is just that, but woke. That's it.
Yeah, I actually started playing Spider-Man, the first one, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. I only played it one time. I just couldn't get into it. I like the open world swinging, but everything else, I'm like...
It's there.
Yeah.
It is the most there game.
Maybe it's because I'm not really a big fan of, like, comics, and I just never really got into it as a kid, but it's just very much like, eh.
Yeah.
I'd rather go play Apex.
One of the quotes that came out of the article was, this is from Culture Crave over on Twitter. It says, it always felt very natural, and I think we all collectively thought it would happen. To me, it shows a great deal of evolution from Miles. I think pretty early on, we knew that we wanted to have that moment of handing the reins over. So from the start, they came in and said, hey, we're going to make this change. It's just a matter of making that transition, which this is a very big point of contention. And if you want to farm...
talking transition with PS5, I'm just saying, be careful.
if you want to rage engagement, farm engagement on Twitter, just put Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Just tweet that out. And you know who does that exceptionally well is actually our buddy Yellow Flash. He'll tweet that out occasionally, and I'll DM him. He's like, it's genius. People just go crazy over this shit. So I've done it a couple times just to see what happens. And yeah, it's like, all you do is you tweet it out, and then you mute your thread, and then you come back and you're like, wow, 100,000 people saw this. People are so pissed about this. It's insane. It is really insane to see.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
See, I just went and tweeted it out. We'll see what happens. I'm a guinea pig.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So I went in and I was trying to find the writer on this.
So were the game designers.
Well, Brittany. Okay, so the two main writers on this are Brittany Morris and Ben Arfman, and they're the people who are the ones who are making the decisions behind it. Let me see if I can find this real quick. So if you'd like to know who the two people are that are making this decision, this is thanks to Gizmodo here. It says Spider-Man 2's writers break down the game's big spoilers. Okay, so the main writers are Brittany Morris and Ben Arfman. They're talking about it as they're talking about the all this. I don't really care about the spoilers, but here's Ben Arfman, who is maybe, and I don't know Ben.
He looks like an Arfman.
He looks like
right. He does look like an Arfman.
He looks like a combination of Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates had a baby.
He's a lady killer. Is really what's going on there.
It looks like he was picked on a lot growing up.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
He used to live in the lockers.
His comb over has a comb over. It's amazing.
And then we have Brittany Morris, who is also in charge of making this decision. There's Brittany right there.
Oh, hi.
So she's
what are all those cost? Okay, so she's an author turned she's slumming in video games.
Right.
Gotcha.
And she's written all sorts of things.
She wrote Slay.
Yeah, Slay. So
Slay. I think we saw a different kind of Slay earlier with the Black Santa.
But this is just one of those things where is this a product of the times, as you said? Do people actually want this? I think that's the thing. Do people actually care? And I saw in the chat somebody said, I think Verkus Game says there may not be a third game because apparently the second game has lost money. And I don't know how you sell 2.5 million copies in a week and are losing money on this game.
Oh, that's easy with the budgets.
Yeah, do we know what the budget was?
They spent a lot. I remember when, and this is a pretty innocuous example because this game wasn't even that huge, but Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain lost money, right? A lot of money, actually. It was supposed to hit 5 million copies sold inside of 2 months or whatever, because there's kind of a window of profitability for games, right? There's a certain period of time in which you got to sell X number of copies or else, the development cycle kind of rolls over and you're funding other projects. You got to make your money back inside of a certain window. That's why big launches are a big deal, right? So Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain was supposed to hit whatever it was, 6 million units sold or whatever. Konami came out and said that in 2015, and it sold like 2.5 million, which is great, right? That's a great number. But the budget was like 200 million or something like that. I guarantee you Spider-Man 2 is at least in that neighborhood, if not north of it.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, you do the math on 3 million copies at $70 a piece. That's a pretty good chunk of change right off the bat. It's $210 million of sales. So it'll make money for sure. It'll absolutely make money over
It'll
time.
probably make more money down the road, though. It's one of those games, right? It's gonna be one of those games it's going to continuously attract people to that platform, which is probably what Sony wants anyways, right? So even if they lose money on the game itself, they might make it, because I've definitely seen people say, I got to buy a PS5 for Spider-Man 2, which I don't know how that statement even escapes your lips, but apparently there are people who feel this way. So it might be worth it in the end.
I can't even find its budget. They never released it.
Yeah, that's the thing about the video game industry. It drives me nuts. They don't have to announce budget, how much they don't even have to announce how much they sold, which is why usually if you don't hear how much something sells, it's probably bad news.
Oh God, yeah.
Right. Well, all we know is that moving forward, it doesn't matter how many get sold. I mean, they're definitely gonna. I mean, it's Spider-Man. There's going to be another Spider-Man game. Like, that's the reality. Whether it's Spider-Man 2 or they reboot it altogether, there will be another Spider-Man game in the future, and it will be for the PlayStation 5 and whatever. So, just get ready for it. And Miles Morales will be your lead. So, as they hand the reins over. But what do you think about this? Leave us a comment down below. We read every single one of them. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button because you have found your home for common sense in the gaming and entertainment worlds.